Adobe Aero recently decided that it's going to shut down its operation. So I've been looking around for different options to prototype AR experiences. And the one that I'm kind of leaning towards right now is Lens Studio by Snap. I'm on their website right now. It's ar.snap.com, and you can see some examples of projects that are done on here, some of the benefits of using this. I'm just going to get right into it. The first thing you want to do is go up to the download button up here and download this. There are different versions here. So this is a desktop app that you can edit with, and it is available on Mac and PC. So I think that's a good start. Yeah, so go ahead and download it. And then once you got that going, you can open up Lens Studio. I have it open right now, and I'm just going to go over some of the basic the basic interface here to kind of get us thinking about how to use this. So think of all these different boxes as different parts of, or different, offering different functionality here. Up here in the scene hierarchy, this is kind of like what's in the actual scene itself, the objects and the things that are active here. We can turn things on and off by clicking this check. You can open and collapse things here. And you do really want to pay attention to hierarchy here. So you can nest things underneath here, and that will affect kind of how it works. Underneath that is the asset browser. So it's almost like the file browser, or just like the project assets. So anything that, like, a lot of times the way you import things are going here and importing them, and then from there you can drag them into your scene up here. Here you can see the scene itself. This is a 3D space, a 3D environment. If you have a mouse, I would recommend it's always good to have a mouse, I think, for 3D stuff, but I'm actually using my trackpad, but I'm doing the right click to kind of rotate around. So a 2-button press on a Mac trackpad, and then if you, you can also navigate here by moving things around like this. And then if you want to zoom in, you can use your scroll wheel on your mouse, or kind of like, use a similar motion on the trackpad. So that's helpful for that. Underneath here, you'll just see a logger, which will tell you, like, a lot of times it's almost like a console. It'll tell you if there's errors, or you can kind of trace back some of the steps. Inspector is going to be active when you click on something. It's going to give you the details for, like, it's almost like the properties for that item that you're clicking on. And you can see the options here. So each one will have a kind of slightly different interface. The preview here is really neat. You can see what your lens looks like on a person, or if we go into this section, sometimes you need to pull these things out to see the different options. This is a multimedia preview. You can also go into your webcam preview, so you can actually see yourself in here if you want to move your head around and see what it looks like. We can go back in here. This is kind of like switching the view. So that's like if you were trying to do something in space. You can also switch the camera around, switch the front camera, like it says. I think it kind of deactivates the animation, reset, and then additional options over here. So you may want to mirror things. You can see some of the different pieces here. Down here, you can also see microphone input, toggling the mute. You can simulate this. I think it might come out no simulation as a default, but you can actually go and view what this looks like on a phone. It's a little bit hard to see, but there's a phone outline here, so it kind of crops it and gives you a preview of that. Okay, and then down here you can see, one thing that's pretty helpful is if you want to record a video of this, you can just hit this button here, and then you can also take a screenshot of this if you want to kind of see what the lens looks like. There's also an area to publish your lens, and then also preview the lens, which is a way to kind of send your lens to Snapchat, and you can play around with it. It's not going to be published, but it's something that I do recommend trying if you have a Snapchat account. Okay, so I want to do something just really basic. I want to track the head, make a face filter, but just kind of take an image, let's say, and just attach it to the face. again, I'm just trying to show an example of how to use this, not trying to make something super original or creative. But I'm going to go into Illustrator and maybe just make like a smiley face for this. So what I'll do is go and draw a circle, something like this. Maybe I'll just align it in the center. I don't need an outline necessarily, so I'll turn that off. And then maybe for the face itself, I'll go for a yellow color. Okay, so that's that, and maybe I just want to make a smiley face. So it could be something super simple like a black eyes and a black mouth, let's say. Maybe I'll just play around with this. Maybe I'll group these and then just align them to the center. And then for the mouth itself, maybe it's just like the bottom of a circle, let's say. Kind of want to show you what I'm doing. I just want to take the bottom piece of that. So maybe I'm just taking that first, like half of that. And I don't know, I'll just use like Pathfinder to kind of cut those shapes out. And then I could either leave it open like this. Maybe we'll do that for now. So I'll just hit Shift X to just switch the fill and the stroke. And again, let me just align it to the center. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to export this as a PNG because I want a transparent background. I don't want like a white background on it. Otherwise, that's going to be in the file. So let me just export this as a PNG. I'm going to use, I guess I'll use the artboard. I don't have to, but I'll say smiley face PNG. Okay. That's probably okay. Let's go back into Lens Studio. Again, this is the asset browser. This is where we add the elements that we want to bring into the scene. So when I'm ready with that asset, in this panel, you can right click and go to Import Asset. You could also click and drag it from Finder. Here's the PNG file that I had. So this is just that smiley face. And then I also want to bring in something to attach the face to this, or this image to the face, and I wanted to track it in space. So if we go into here, we can certainly scroll through here and find things, or if we have a rough idea of what we want, we can search for it. I'm going to search for face image, so that's exactly what it sounds like. And when we brought that in, you'll see that underneath the camera object as a child of that, it brought in this effect, the head binding effect, which is going to follow this head around. You can see it's moving with it. And then the face image here. We'll go into the inspector here, and now we need to bring in this the texture here. Right now, there's just this blank image, asset, but we brought in that smiley face asset, so we should be able to just go into here, click on the texture, and go to smiley face. And so once we do that, we'll have this right here. Now this is pretty small, so we probably need to scale this up. Maybe, let me also make those proportional so that if we scale that up, everything will scale together. So that's kind of working. It's in space and it's moving around. We can also go into here and look at different people. So this is someone this has facial expressions, but you can see if there's one that's like a little bit different that we might want to use. This is just smiling, but that's probably fine. You could also hit this button up here to see a webcam preview, and you can move your head around and see how it moves, how it tracks with you. You want to also look at this in 3D space. You do holding down right click and moving around, and you can see kind of where this is in space. This is a mesh that's kind of created to represent the face. So Snapchat or the Lens Studio will find out where the face is and put it there. sometimes you might need to take this, and if you look at the position, you might need to move this forward or backwards. Let's just see what happens if I, move it in front. If like the nose is coming out, or let's say if we had it -1, or maybe even -4, it looks like it is being occluded, but you also just want this to kind of feel like it's in the right position. So I think that's going to be okay. Just something like that. And so this could be a really basic first filter. One other thing you might want to do is have an image in the background. Maybe you want to make this like whole thing have a kind of graphic feel. Maybe you want to cover up the background. So one last thing to add to this really simple filter is like maybe we bring in a screen image. And so this is going to take over the screen back here, and you're going to see once that goes in, it's going to bring this new camera, an orthographic camera. So that's kind of like it functions more like a flat camera. It's not actually really in space. It's like if we want a flat object back there. I have some assets that I already created. Something like really simple would be something like this. It just says, "Have a nice day." It's a white background. So I'm going to bring that in and just put that in the background. Again, the way I would bring an asset like that, import the asset. I have another demo here, so I can have this one, "Have a nice day." And then when I go into the screen image, instead of the texture being just image, I'm going to go into here and go to "Have a nice day." Hit OK, and then that's set up like this. Now, here's something that's happening. This image is on top of this in the render order. So it's like if you think about the layers in a Photoshop file or Illustrator file, this is on top. So we got to change that. If we go, let's see. If you click on either camera, the orthographic camera or the camera object, you can see this camera object goes first. It starts at 0, and then this one goes second. The position is 1, so the lower number is going to show that. We can go and change the render order to 0 for this, and then change this one to 1, and that should put that on top. And so now you have just this basic filter with an image tracking the face, and just an image, a flat image, kind of not moving on the screen. So that's a really simple and easy example to get you started. Again, if you wanted to play with this on your phone, you could hit Preview Lens. It'll send it to the lens. I'm currently signed in, so when I open up Snapchat, it's going to have that as one of the lenses I can preview. But you might want to, if you don't have an account, you can create one and you can sign in. There's a code to scan to kind of link the accounts. But that's a really nice feature, I think a good way to prototype your lenses as you get started. Again, if you wanted to preview this just on your computer, you could try it with the webcam preview. That turns on my webcam, and now it'll track my face. So when I go back, it'll get smaller and bigger when I move up. So this is a live preview of me testing it out. With something like this, maybe you don't see me moving as well, but if I didn't have this background, and again, I can actually just turn this off. I could have this on my face so you can kind of get a sense of what it would look like. This is what the lens looks like when I preview it on my phone. If I tap on that bug button, I can collapse the info for this app. You can browse different lenses at the bottom of the screen. The way to load this one is to scroll over to the Lens Studio icon. Okay, so this is just a quick video going over some of the basics of Lens Studio. I'll be following this up with some other videos that show some more functionality.